Om Shanti. Constantly experience unshakable, immovable, and constant stage. Connection with the One. By remembering that you are the children of the highest on high Father, your stage will remain constant and stable. When you have all relationships with the One, your stage will also be ekras, constant and stable. If the string of relationship is pulled towards someone else, you will not have a constant and stable stage. So, in order to make your stage constant and stable, do not look at anyone except the One. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 14. Constantly experience an unshakable, immovable, and constant stage. Today's topic: connection with the One. Self respect point: Master, ocean of love. What flows from me? Love. Baba is the ocean of love, and I, the Master, am the same. I love every soul without rejection. Practices. Step 1. I am a master ocean of love. I love every soul. Step 2. I am giving happiness and I am happy. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Baba provides us, he calls it the swing of supersense joy. There is a swing of happiness, there is swing of joy, but what's called swing of supersense joy. So to stay in that joy, which is not the experience from any senses, physical or senses or physical organs, but this is the happiness which is really coming from our inner deep contentment of my good relationship. I always consider Baba to be one support, one strength. And even if we have many supports, many people who help us, but that could also create dependency. That could also sometimes cause missing or sorrow. But it is one relationship with Baba which constantly gives you strength, support, and of course it brings a lot of joy. Even if we are dependent on one support, but also because remembrance brings power. Not any person's remembrance will bring power, right? Baba provides that power to the soul. So even if you are remembering, because you are becoming powerful, so there is no dependency. And I had been mentioning a lot that you cannot just keep asking Baba for help. Look at what you have taken from Baba. What Baba has given you, knowledge, power, love, use that also. And where you cannot, you find you do not have enough, you are not capable, you are not able to do it, then Baba is always there to help you. But you cannot do it as, no, in the beginning, for every step, we thought Baba has to help. Even Baba says, I am your companion, I am always with you. So it's only when we are not able to manage, then we look at Baba. So it's not dependency. It is like uplifting you every time you remember Baba. In Lokik way, it's dependency. I don't see this one, or I don't meet this one, or this one didn't do this for me. Dependencies. And of course, when soul is the body, there are a lot of kind of, requirements. But when it comes to soul, requirements are completely different. Needs, necessities, and the requirements when it comes to soul in the body, and when the soul is separate and detached. So it's not, we need all relationships in many different ways if we keep describing. And every relationship have different feeling. And there is lot of about my relationship. If you love your mother's sister more than mother, she will say, why you love her more than me? I am supposed to get more love, to be loved more. So when it comes to bodily relationships, there are lot of things. And to be constantly joyful and to have consistent super sensitive joy, there has to be remembrance of one. There has to be relationship with one. All relationships in one. But of course, Baba do offer. And Baba says that I am your supreme teacher, supreme father, and also Sadguru. Sadguru. I am also your companion. I am supreme judge. Many relationships with Baba. But all those relationships are soul related. Is father for the soul, teachings are for the soul, guidance, direction is for the soul. So this soul conscious relationship with one always bring joy, happiness. It will never happen that you have sorrow. There are many, we all have love for everyone. Like Baba, Brahma Baba was the instrument, medium for Shiv Baba. And we had lot of love for Brahma Baba. Because for our lives, we renounced everything. We came from home. So Baba was our parents, right? Brahma Baba. His love, his care, his teachings. So there was lot of love. Of course, we don't know attachment, but there was lot of love with Baba, then Mama, with Dadis. But when Baba became awake and we heard the news, there was no sorrow. There was deep silence. And then after that came about awake and angelic. Before that, we didn't know about angelic. So it was really angelic because if Baba is angel, so his living is not living. Body has limit, no, aging and problem with it could be whatever reason, but not the soul. Soul is timeless, soul is eternal, soul is imperishable. Right? So if Baba became awake, still there was no sorrow. And that is now we experience more and more. So some people say, but God also, you start depending on God. I said, we don't depend because every step we move forward, He gives us some more virtue, gives us more power, and so our stage also goes higher and higher. So we are actually dependent, but also independent because we could manage now. So it's very interesting when Baba says, if you want to be constantly happy, if you want to be consistent in your state of mind, it's necessary to have all relationship. In other words, remembrance of only one. And I think it does happen. All of Baba's children, anything happens, word Baba, Baba, Baba will help, Baba will do, Baba is there. No word Baba comes out. And of course, later on we have all physical connections because for body, it required to have relationship. But as a soul, to have relationship with one is very important. So it's understanding. Then it's natural. You're not forcing yourself not to remember anyone. Keep remembering Baba. And one of the best way, as Jagdish Bhai was mentioning about mind not pulled towards who didn't treat you well. One way to settle that. So in physical it happens, but mentally we carry it, which is not good for the soul. And best way Baba has given us, forgive and good wishes. Forgive and good wishes. So this mental tussle of even not do you didn't want to, you don't want to remember, but it keeps coming back, that soul. And then that means karmic account is still there. It hasn't settled. So just have good wishes. And one time it will happen that that soul's face will be removed from your screen of mind. Many times I have done with people I just don't want to think of. And only way was, I forgive you, good wishes for you. Wherever you are, good wishes. And good wishes, why Baba said always have good wishes. That's the only way to settle karmic accounts, which could be very subtle also, as one of the thing that you think of that soul. Even know that you got sorrow, but still you are thinking. So it's still karmic accounts are there, taking away your thoughts which you can use for remembrance, you can use for service, you can use to give sakas, and they are being pulled towards anyone or pure souls. So I think that one of the practice which we all should do, remembrance of one and good wishes for everyone, right? So consistently be in happiness, joy, and that is supersensual joy. So Baba says connection with one or relationship with one. Baba says by remembering that you are the children of the highest on high Father, your stage will remain consistent. We are children of highest on high, will help you to keep your stage consistent, very stable. So Baba says, while you while you have all relationships with the one, your stage will also be, Baba says, ekras, that is consistent and also consistent and stable. You will have both these qualities. Baba says, if the string of relationship is pulled towards someone, someone else, you will not have a consistent and a stable state. Mostly it does happen that you have remembrance of one, but also some others, right? So your stage can be consistent and stable. So Baba says, so in order to make your stage consistent and stable, do not look at anyone accept the one. And it's true, maybe we feel it's hard. It's not hard. Because Baba is not saying, I have seen some very mature Brahmins. They kept all good relationship with everyone, grandchildren, family, but internally was just for Baba, remembrance of Baba, but playing nice part with everyone. And I like it because Baba is not saying, don't see, don't speak, don't do that. Have everything now. If you are grandfather, grandmother, or if you have your mother, you can't say, I can't think, shouldn't do anything for my children. No, they will do, that's their duty. So Baba always tell, you have to take care of your creation now. If you create, you must sustain them. So that love, that connection is there. But deep within we know that it's one Baba, whom I have all relationships, remembrance of Baba, full of only one. So all that definitely can. It's so interesting that Baba keeps saying, remember me. Nobody really says, keep remembering me. Because through remembrance, what we receive, and that is only possible when there is remembrance. So reflect on it. It's very interesting point. The knowledge which you took in the beginning, just revise it deeply. When you came, how you felt and how you got detached also. But play part with everyone in a nice way, loveful way. Baba doesn't say don't keep in touch. No, we can. But then still there are certain ways where we have to see how our karmic account shouldn't become a bondage, but it should be more freedom, liberation, where there is love, but there is no attachment. So very good point, and we all must reflect and do our homework. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Hello, Gayatri.
Am I echoing?
Yeah, no, you are okay.
Now I'm okay. All right. As you were talking about the soul having all relationships with Baba, it is a relationship. Relationship with Baba is a relationship of the soul. So what was coming to me is, and something I'm churning on too, is the point he made in Sunday's Murli, in which he says there's a difference in becoming the embodiment of the image and becoming an embodiment of the experience. And so is it that in the Lokik world, we have relationships with our fellow human beings and we become the embodiment of the image of the relationship? And so therefore expectations will come from that and conditions. And when the soul now is having all relationships with Baba, the soul is becoming an embodiment of the experience of the relationship outside of an image. Are you getting it? So for instance, with a human being, I would look at the human being and say, this is my father. So I'm having a relationship with that human being as an image of the father. So the relationship of the father through the image of this person who is my father. But with Baba, I don't have an image per se. So I'm having a pure experience of the relationship rather than through an image. Is this what is going on, so that the soul moves itself out of the image and then becomes the embodiment of the actual experience of that relationship?
Yeah, that's a good point. But also, I will say image could also be that I am child of the highest Father, so this image of myself as child of highest on high could also help me to, have that experience. So I would say both ways. You could be image, of course, when it comes to other relationship and experience from Baba. But I could also say that even image-wise, when I think, create this, become embodiment of highest child or child of highest Father, that also brings relationship and image, experience and embodiment of experience and of image too. That's how I feel. I don't know if I made it clear a little
No,
bit.
you're clear. So what you're saying, what I'm understanding is that I have to have an image of myself and become the embodiment of that image in order to have a relationship with Baba. So for instance,
This
I
is how I
am
see.
I am the embodiment of a student. So that's the image of myself. I am a student of a teacher who is the highest on high. And so being the embodiment of that image of myself as a student, when I am remembering Baba as my teacher, I don't have an image of him per se, except that through the knowledge that he's giving through Brahma Baba's mouth.
Yeah,
But still, I'm having that relationship of him teaching me.
yeah. Both ways. What you're saying is also right. And I think the way I took it also
Mm.
this way, that embodiment of the image could be I am God's child, right? And then also embodiment of experience, because as a child I experience from God the relationship of that.
Okay, so then what you're saying, and I'm thinking out loud. I don't know what I'm saying even is right. So I'm just thinking out loud with you. So therefore, every the to be before I can be the embodiment of the experience, I must first be the embodiment of the image. And if that is so, then all relationships with Baba is seen through the image of Brahma Baba or is experienced through the image of Brahma Baba.
No, but the way today I was thinking, and I said in a way that all other relationships, experience with them is required when you are in body. But when you are in soul consciousness, I won't say that Baba will be now playing the part like my uncle or give me something like my auntie. So actually, all the relationships are required, or they are growing more and more. And like in golden age, if there are less children, less kind of long list of relationship. So they are okay when body and playing our part with them. But internally, so I'm not saying Baba will play part and I experience relationship of uncle from him. I won't need it. In soul consciousness, I won't need to think about all these relationships. So Baba is all in one, but not necessarily in many different relationships.
So there are only very few relationships then that would fulfill all the other relationships the network of human relationship. So what are those
Yeah.
primary relationships with Baba that would fulfill the network of all the different relationships that we've created karmic accounts through?
First, I think is mother, father, then teacher, then Sadguru, then companion, right? Guide. This is how at least I And of course, Supreme Judge, that final judgment is in his hands. So I see these few because I don't see him as uncle, auntie, or nephew, different. There are
Brother,
so
sister,
many net. Yeah.
nephew, niece.
Yeah.
What about friend? Because he's remembered
Yeah.
many
That's
relatives
also.
as
Yeah.
Kudha Dost.
Kudados, right?
Mm. So then this aspect that he's talking about, if you have all these relationships, those primary relationships you just talked about, mother, father, teacher, guide, Dharamraj, companion, and friend, say, and maybe beloved, these 8 relationships, which are the primary 8, then that would create inside of me a Kuras stage. I was wondering, what is this a Kuras stage that gets created in a soul when the soul is fulfilled by those relationships? Maybe I should ask you personally. You're a soul that many people come to for the fulfillment of a discontentment that they may be having with someone else in a relationship. And so, if there's that discontentment with others in the relationship, they tend to come to you, pour their hearts out, tell you the sorrow that they're experiencing. And then you fulfill within them something that makes them feel good, makes them feel a sense of belonging, makes them feel that Baba is there for them through you. So what is your ACRA stage that you work through in order to do that for someone else?
I think that, bring their attention to that from where the attainments come. Like I tell everyone, whatever we do, good in a right way or how much we do, all that record is with one Baba. And when we talk about justice, it's really in one hand. So
Mm,
just bringing their attention towards Baba, because Baba gave me this new life. And
mm,
Baba is my parents and guide.
mm,
So as much we could draw their attention towards one. And
mm,
I always find that when anybody is talking, and I always say, Baba, they are telling you, you have to help them, so connecting them more, even through my thoughts with one Baba, so that they can get more strength, maintain their courage, and start some other balancing their powers and virtues, which could help them in their life.
mm,
I think that listening is a big thing for people, because they could say what is their heart. You don't interrupt, you don't try to kind of, you just listen whatever is in their heart, and that empties their heart with that pain, and
mm,
then bring them closer to Baba. And I always tell everyone, just focus on your efforts. As much you focus on your spiritual efforts, spiritual journey, everything will be okay. That's the only way, right?
mm. But you, at that time, listening to them, you are not in any particular relationship with Baba.
Well, I am with Baba. I don't think of which relationship, but I am with Baba.
Mhm,
Seeing Baba as guide, seeing Baba as our parents, but I am with Baba definitely.
mm,
Because
I
I don't want to take sorrow because they got sorrow.
mhm,
And because it's their karmic account, so
mm,
it shouldn't happen that you feel sorry for the souls that why they have to go through. But then we realize that this is both ways, no?
mm,
If somebody can hurt me because I allow them to do that, no?
mhm,
But if I say, no, that's not what I will take it, no? Baba said, don't take sorrow. Otherwise, be strong, So
mm,
why we have to be submissive and So even if we are gentle, we are obedient, but we are not subservient to anyone.
So therefore, the
So what?
subserviency would come because I didn't have a pure soul conscious relationship with Baba. So I'm subservient to a human being for the fulfillment of that. And that's why I take
Something is
sorrow.
something is lacking.
Mhm. But sometimes
So
I feel,
I feel that that soul has to recover from that weakness so that this doesn't happen all the time. So I always feel that somewhere, that is why I was mentioning yesterday that anyone comes, it did happen many times when I'm there and say something about someone. And then I said, okay, then I talk to other party and say, what do you think? Because if you hear the story of both sides, then you get a full picture plus satisfaction in that you are not impressed and not impartial and now you're taking side of that one. I will not change my attitude towards where you had difficulty because we still have a lot of love. So I will maintain it, that way. I give example of that, my sister-in-law, right, and my mother. So you always know that daughter-in-law, mother-in-law have always some or other, something or other. But I had to remain very detached because both were surrendered to Baba. So I didn't go into whatever was going on between them. So I learned that how two people can have differences, but I don't have difference with this one or that one. So how to maintain that love, good relationship with both is very important. And that's what I try to do. Because then my attitude will be, she said something to you, right? So which was not good. I agree. But that one hasn't said anything like that to me. So why should I change my so like anyone I was telling yesterday, any name you say, oh, she's like that, she's like that. And other one, I said, who is not like, there will always be some limits in each one. And if you look at their specialities, I think then it works okay. Otherwise, you won't trust anyone. Because if she did something to you, or you trust that person. But I have to trust, I will start with that trust, even if she didn't do right with you. Because that's your karmic account with that soul, no?
but isn't
But
also,
we cannot label soul, you know what I mean? Which sometimes we do.
yes, we do try. Sometimes we do label people. However, I'm still coming back to this subtle dynamic of the akra stage that comes from having all relationships with Baba. Why is it Brahmins are still struggling in relationships with one another and not having that one stage that comes from having all relationships with Baba? What do you think is lacking in us that here is an opportunity only once in the cycle? We have access to Baba as a whole being, as a being who is open to give us whatever we want. But yet we're pulled back into the human dynamic of relationships, and we're not able to live in the beauty, in the embodiment of the experience of what true relationships are. What do you think is lacking in us? We all say we have faith in Baba. We all say we love Baba. We all say we are the children of the highest on high. Our self-respect is so high. But yet, when it comes to relationship, something goes skew with, something goes off balance. What do you think it is that we're missing?
Mhm. No, one thing I tell you that love and the support is required, right? Even those are in the body. Because even if it's one strength and one, so internally I am thinking of Baba as everything, but then everyone else around me or whatever are the needs, If there is a doctor, there is a nurse, there is somebody caretaker, I'm just giving example. So you are depending on them also. But they are also some or other. So I feel it is both ways, with one and with everyone. So when Baba sometimes says, remember me alone, I always say, remember one, but have love for everyone. So somewhere that soul conscious relationship amongst ourselves are also very important and needed. Like I don't like to be alone. I always like more people, lot of people, and I enjoy it very much. Doesn't mean that I have less love for Baba or I am remembering anyone. So I think there is I whenever I go somewhere, they say, "Oh, you have very good support system for you," and I feel great. I said I am fortunate to have those who are around me helping me, or I am helping in some way. But relationship with one is something where anytime there is anything, I am in complete remembrance of Baba. So it's like I remember once I bodily not too well, and you said, should we call you this brother or mother or this one? And I said, no, you all are my family. And I don't need any lokik to come for. I know one time Nirvar Bhai said, can we come? Can I send? I said, no, everyone around there is so good and dependent, so love and taking each other's care and support is important here at Confluence Age. You don't have to be lonely or alone and just, kind of wherever you need help emotionally, physically, then even if it's Baba, but then it's amongst ourselves it will happen. No?
Yeah, but I remember also that Dadi Ji and Dadi Gulzar and Nirvibhai at different times said to me very clearly that if anything happened to you in terms if you got sick or if you were hospitalized, or it is my duty to call them. I must never make a decision without informing them. And that stayed so clearly with me that, well, now who do I call? Maybe I call Sister Jayanti, but it was very important at headquarters. I mean, the Yagya knew this. So it isn't just because you have us around you, we make decisions for you. They were saying no, that would not be according to Srimad. The Srimad says we have to inform them. And so there is something more than just, you know, having people around you and discussing things with just them. But you do need to take it to a higher order then. And sometimes we miss this. Who is the higher order? You would be the higher order, but if it's you, who do we go to?
What is coming in my mind that when my relationship with Baba is accurate, my relationship with others will also be accurate.
That's right.
That means that knowing what is the relationship comes from God too. That's what I find after belonging to Baba. The change which happens in you or what you learn is how to have relationship with everyone. The quality of relationship with Baba will be visible by your quality with everyone. Because some of the qualities, I remember that, I had been to Madhuban for 60 plus years and seen many those who are old there. They came as young boys, they came and we all grew together. And there is such a feeling of closeness and for each other, understanding each other. I mean, I have always, I shouldn't say, I don't have problem with any relationship with anyone. I love people. I like to be with people, and I think it comes from Baba, no. So if we still pay attention to see it, am I obedient to Baba? Am I faithful to Baba? Am I following everything? And automatically those qualities are used into all other relationships also. It helps very much. So that thought came in my mind. That means still what you are doing is seeing the quality of your relationship with Baba.
Exactly. That was the point I
And
wanted
then from there, relationship with everyone.
with everyone
That
else.
love, that respect,
Mm.
and the sharing with each other, supporting each other. You know, all that is lot is
Mhm.
required in the life. Like nobody cares for you, or you don't want anyone. It could be both ways. No, there are some souls they isolate themselves and
Mm.
go through a lot of suffering, and there are
Mhm.
some they say, "Let me share my
Mhm.
joy and also what help I need emotionally or physically."
Mhm. Mhm. It's a
Right?
very deep
Very
subject.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, one
Mhm.
final thing. I know it's late, but one sister sent this question, and I know she's waiting for a reply. And this is what she said. Brahmin souls are leaving bodies. And so the question was, what about them? So we want to know if we understood it right. In this one Brahmin birth, a soul can take two physical births, but the soul remains
Mhm.
a Brahmin soul, and the next birth is also a Brahmin birth. So we come to Baba, 84th birth, and then we leave the body as a Brahmin. We take our next body and we remain a Brahmin. So it remains our 84th birth, no matter how many physical births the soul will take. We are looking forward to your reply. And so
Mhm.
my reply to her was, and she wasn't satisfied with this, so this is why it's coming to you. I'm saying to her, souls leaving their bodies are taking other bodies, but they will be in the awareness of an angelic and soul conscious. That would be their awareness. I understand the 84th birth to be when we meet Baba. There are 8 births in the golden age and 12 births in the silver age. So those of the advanced party are now in that one birth that Baba talks about. The first birth, then they're in that first birth between the confluence and the
Mhm.
golden. And she wasn't satisfied with that. She says, no, it's one. The This one birth then is what we want to know. What happens to that one birth? So do you have
Yeah,
any?
I will. Yeah, I will reply briefly, but it's a whole topic.
Mhm.
One time I will take it properly. But what one of the opinion always had been that you cannot have two Brahmin births,
Right.
because one birth of Brahmin, that means if you are reborn, it's not surrender Brahmin or you will come and become teacher, or you will be Brahmin in a way, living your lifestyle and all that. But no, we cannot say, like in Christianity is reborn, and we cannot say it's reborn Brahmin. We do say sometimes, oh, this soul is really from Yagya.
Mhm.
And, so I think there are two opinions. I can think about this more clearly and then definitely come back and give
Okay.
this whole detail about it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Om
Thank you
Shanti.
very much.
Yeah, good night. Om Shanti.
Good night.